Here we go. Hey, everybody. Can you hear me okay? That's the thing I have to ask every single time I start one of these live streams. Can anybody hear me? Okay. Whew. There we go. So today, I'm working on a Lonesome Hunters page. I was going to try to come up with something, just something more. I was thinking about doing some more commandy stuff, to be honest, but then I was like, I gotta get this issue done. And I don't think this is too spoilery. I mean, without context, I don't think this conversation would make any sense, but trying a slightly different setup too. It makes it hard for me to read the comments though. So I have this page as like, excuse me. This page that is ready. I'm working on my black ink pass. Basically, I've done my brown inks. I've done a quick color wash, and I did like a shadow pass. And now I'm going in with my blacks, and I'll do like my inking, boop, 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 and reinforce a lot of the shadows and lighting stuff. So that's where we're at. How's everybody doing tonight? Anybody have big weekend plans? Oh, sorry, you're gonna miss your friend Mark. I would love to go to Germany though. I'm a little jealous. I was there one time in like 93 or something. It was pretty fun, but not like we were there for like a day. Like we took the train in during the day and then took the train out at night, and it wasn't enough time to like hang out and actually do anything. And we were broke too, so it wasn't like we got to have a ton of like great food or anything. Volleyball tournament. You're not playing in that, are you, Stacy? Or are you going to watch somebody play? And that sounds like an asshole thing to say. You could very easily be a volleyball professional. Nice. Well, I hope your daughter's team cleans up. Oh, Math Raptor, I forgot that it's Memorial Day. That is the curse of the freelancer that like a lot of these bank holidays don't really register for me. Oh man, cleaning out a storage unit does not sound fun though. I have considered getting one many times in my life and sort of glad I have never done it because I feel like it would end up being an albatross around my neck. I don't know if I said hi to everybody. I think I feel like I just started drawing. Hi everybody. Thanks for joining me tonight. Silence of the Lambs. I never seen Fringe, but I do remember the Silence of the Lambs storage. I think of Steven Universe because his dad has that storage garage. Steven Universe is, I think it's great. It's not for everybody. It's a very sort of twee show, if that's the right word for it. It's very sweet. Um, and I liked it a lot. But yeah, I know a few people who are sort of like just cannot stand it, but they're wrong. The Night Eaters. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Mark, is that a comic? There's so much stuff I feel like I should sort of be aware of that I just am not lately. This is not a Winsor Newton brush. This is a Rosemary and Company Pure Sable Series 99, size 0. This has been my preferred brush lately. It's a sable brush. They're more consistently good than um, the Winsor Newtons, at least in my experience. I've bought 3 or 4 Winsor Newtons in my life, and one of them has been good. And these brushes are like, I'd have to look and see how much exactly, but I think they're about $6 a piece. So I usually go through 3 or 4 of them in the course of a year, and I don't feel super bad about it. I mean, I kind of feel bad when I think about the sables, but at least I don't feel like I'm losing 25 or $30 every time I ruin one of these. Oh, that's right. No, I remember what you're talking about, Mark. I have heard of that. I think that's up for an Eisner or something, right? Oh, Math Raptor, that's a good idea. I've never tried Brush Restore. Um, I try really hard to just, keep them rinsed as I work, and then I um, try to wash them every night. It usually works pretty good, but it's still like eventually the brushes will die on me. I'll have to check that out. I um I really liked I didn't finish it, but I really liked Monstrous. The scene feels like I'm being a little bit lazy. It's pretty rare that I do like these super black backgrounds. Yeah, the guy in panel 3 is pretty worried about stuff. Mark, you can never spend too much time talking about lettering. It is such an important part of comics and always gets overlooked. Well, not always. Yeah, Edie, man, I am so stoked on this gutter tape. It is speeding up my scanning process so much. And scanning is like my least favorite part of making comics. Like, I hate it so much that I've explored trying to photograph my pages instead. Um, but that's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, Mark, I it's such a bummer for most letters how they don't get enough time. I actually like in a perfect world, I think the letterers would well, they would do what I do. Like I do a lettering pass over the layouts before I do penciling, and then I do a second pass um, once the whole thing is done. So like the lettering exists on the page in some form, like through 90% of the process, which is very, very helpful. But it's I think if I was to hire someone to do that, it would be very expensive. A letterer would have to work a lot harder to do that. Yeah, math after. I don't know if I'm the best letterer in the world. I think that there are letterers out there who cringe when they see my stuff, but um, I like lettering. I like having control over it a lot. And I feel like my lettering has a little bit of style to it, which I appreciate. It doesn't look super generic. Like I think a lot of the house styles for Marvel and DC are kind of just dull. The letterer that I am the most into lately is oh shit, now I can't remember his name. It's Hassan. I can't remember his last name. He does he has a YouTube channel that he hasn't posted to in a long time, but he does the panel by panel magazine, Panel X Panel. But he's one of those people who doesn't believe that lettering should be invisible, that it should augment the story, and that is exactly where I'm at. Although I think he's probably a little bit better at um, reinforcing the story than I am. Strip panel naked. Thank you, Mark. That is the correct name for. Do you remember Hassan's last name? Oof. I that sounds rough, Edie. I've been fortunate not to get critiqued by people very often. I think I'm okay at taking critique, but I do not like it. Because usually I am more critical of my own work than other people are. So the slightest like critique makes me kind of spiral sometimes. I mean, now that I'm saying that, that's not really true. Like I do well when I'm talking to my editors and stuff and they have notes for me. But when I'm just like, is this good? Then it's that's a scary part. But when we're talking about specific corrections, then I like that stuff. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just babbling. There's his name. Mark Tweedell's got it. But I'm not going to try to say it. Just Hassan. Goes by Haas. Babylon, brother. I'm gonna, whether I want to or not. I guess I should mention that if you haven't pre-ordered the Lonesome Hunters Wolf Child #1, it is still available for pre-order. And I think this weekend is, or I think Monday is the real FOC. I think I talked about it before on stream, but that was the before we had a FOC, that was the Diamond distributors final order cutoff. But my book got caught up in, it was like one of the very last books that Dark Horse distributed through them, and they screwed up the FOC on their end and got all weird, and now there's another FOC through Penguin Random House, and the world of comic book distribution is wild nowadays. Yeah, and you're right, Mark. That did ship push back the release dates too, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I don't think it's that big a deal. As long as they all come out about a month after one after the other, then I think we're okay. Still expecting the trade to be late. It's like every book that I've published in the last 2 or 3 years has been late. Like, it's gotten held up at customs or stuck on a boat somewhere for some reason or hasn't been able to get on a boat. It's like all that supply chain stuff is still going on, and it's attacking me personally. I don't know I don't know how big the sketchbook will be this time around. It probably won't be giant, just because there's not a ton of stuff to put in there. I have some ideas for some extras though to throw in, um, but it'll sort of depend on time and a bunch of stuff. Um, yeah, the sketchbook stuff, they always come to me and they tell me how many pages I have to fill for the sketchbook. Because usually that stuff comes as like when they print the book, it has to be in multiples of like page numbers in multiples of 4, I think, or whatever the signature size is on the book. So whatever extra pages we haven't filled yet need to get filled by sketchbook stuff. So probably not long after I finish this issue, I'll get an email that tells me how many pages of sketchbook stuff I need to come up with. Yeah, thank you, Math Raptor. That is the scam of comics, though. You got to get everybody to buy the comic in as many different formats as possible. One nice thing about buying comics in different formats, though, is I did get that really awesome box set of Akira recently, and then I got to take my old copies down to the library, and they were very excited to have a full run of Akira. Oh my gosh, Mark, I can't even imagine how much that would cost. It's like this size of a small car. That's what you get for living on the expensive hemisphere. I'm with you, Math Raptor. I think a manga volume is like one of the greatest ways to read a comic. It's such a good size. Oh my gosh, Mark. That is so much. And it's not just comics, right? It's like everything, movies and records and yeah, I'm with Math Raptor too. I always wish that Marvel and DC would do that with their main titles. Just combine it all into one Shonen Jump style magazine. I would actually probably read a lot more superhero stuff if there was a format like that. But it's not an easy sell. And I don't really know why. I mean, they don't even um, at least I don't think they print Shonen Jump in the US anymore. One thing about, can I get it on camera? Probably not. One thing about these brushes, these Rosemary and Company brushes, is I'll get a little string of ink that just dries at the very, very tip of the very longest hair. And it slowly grows until I have to take it off with my fingers. It's weird. Oh god, ED, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Makes me it's one of those things that it makes you wonder if you're the only person this ever happens to. Well, alfalfa, that is exactly what it is, an alfalfa cow-like hair. No, tugboat, I have not been getting fireworks. I hope I don't. I'm in a pretty small rural town, and the fireworks can get pretty wild sometimes. Mostly because the sheriff ain't gonna come around for a couple fireworks, but like they would in Portland or whatever. I'm not sure exactly where Sandy is, Stacy. That's sort of southern Oregon, right? Huh. I'll have to look it up on a map, Stacy. Like we're about an hour and a half from Portland. So I've probably driven through it. Unless it's kind of east of here. Man, talk about when I first moved to Oregon, I was scandalized by fireworks sales because I grew up in Southern California and they are highly illegal there. Granted, even in Southern California, people still set off fireworks all the time. Aha! So I probably have been through Sandy, but not very often. It's pretty rare that I get east, actually. It's way more often that we go to the coast than that we go sort of east of Portland. Oh my gosh, it's so sad, Edie, how dogs like cannot take the fireworks. Our pup is finally like old enough and deaf enough that they don't really bother her anymore. But there have been a couple rough 4th of Julys and New Year's. Yeah, Sandy, Oregon coast is incredible. I when we first moved to Oregon, we actually lived right by Tillamook Bay. We lived like a block and a half maybe from the water, and our rent was like $8.50. Is incredible. But we eventually moved to Portland because we figured that was why we came to Oregon, was to live in Portland. But it's too expensive and too many yuppies. Like everyone in Portland likes to pretend that it's full of weirdos, but it really is full of yuppies nowadays. Yeah, Stacy, Lincoln City is great. I like they have one of the greatest bookstores in the world there, Robert's Books. It's just really big and really meandering and great. And they have so much like they have tons of artwork on the walls that it's really easy to miss because the whole place is just so chaotic with stuff. And then it's got a lot of pulp novel cover paintings hanging on the walls, a couple comic strips. Like they have a Pogo Sunday strip hanging up. That's great. It's one of those bookstores you can spend hours in. Like, I would rather go there than Powell's, actually, I think. Although they're different, so it's hard to it's apples and oranges. No, tugboat, I probably won't do the tape today. Usually with my pages, I like to let them sit overnight, um, just because the more dry everything is when I pull the tape, the less likely I'll have an accident. So if I remember to, I'll shoot video of pulling the tape up and put it on Instagram or something. Oh, geez. By the way, if you want to follow me on the socials, um, follow me on Instagram is probably the best place right now. I'm about this close to getting off Twitter finally. I am on Discord, but I don't remember to use it very often. So I miss stuff on there all the time. And I just don't think Discord is like a very good format for like talking to people. The way conversations are threaded is not like very useful to me. Hey Letterhack, how you doing? Yeah, I have felt very stuck on Twitter, Math Raptor, because like um well, just because that's where I actually have my biggest like following or whatever on social medias. But I also have found that like my engagement stuff on Twitter is really low nowadays. So like when I post something to Instagram, I get way more people actually seeing it, I think, than on Twitter. I don't know if I'm gonna do any cons this year. Um, I got invited to the Boise convention, but I'm not feeling very good about going to Idaho nowadays. Um, so I don't know. Like, oh, you know what? I am doing Books with Pictures Con, which is a little one day like a shop puts on a show in Oregon, in Portland. Books with Pictures, and so I'm gonna do like a signing there, but that's all I have planned. I'm gonna try to do like some Pacific Northwest signings this summer, but with all the stuff with our house going on, I have been really bad at about trying to plan it. So we'll see. Oh, I was just passing a bunch of like anti-trans and anti-abortion stuff lately, and they're like super like anti-vaccine and stuff. And like the reason I haven't done any conventions in a long time is because of COVID. So the last thing I want to do is go to a place where I'm way more likely to get it after avoiding it all this time. Yeah, ED, Idaho is a very red state. Time to get this guy out. Bovie, that's actually a very good knowledge for an Australian. I was born in Idaho, but we moved away from there when I was a kid. And it's true, there's a lot of potatoes in Idaho. Yeah, Oregon has so many hazelnuts. There's a lot of hazelnut groves right around where I live, also known as the filbert. Oh, Mark, I don't know if they go into PAX Australia. That would be great, though. I'd love for them to get the word out more on that. Thanks, Edie. I almost missed that my Lex had arrived. That postcard is actually came. I got these made up to send to retailers um, when the first one came out, and yeah, they always send this little top card. It's pretty cute. Tugboat. I probably will still do the flick paint thing. Having a bingo card's not a bad idea, though. Oh, this looks a lot darker on the screen than it looks in real life. Thanks, Edie. This kind of lighting is really hard, and I don't know if I ever actually land it. Like, I feel like I communicate it, but I don't think I actually, like, capture what that emergency vehicle light quite looks like. Oh my gosh, Bringing Out the Dead is one of my favorite movies. I was actually thinking about that 'cause I was just thinking about a couple weeks ago, I was thinking about how Nick Cave is one of those people where I don't feel like he's that great of an actor, but then I'm like, he was in Raising Arizona, he was in Bringing Out Your Dead, he was in Moonlighting or Moonstruck, he was in, Valley Girl. It's just like he's in, like, every great movie. So I think he is actually a great actor. He's in Wild at Heart. And Pig, yes. I don't know, who wrote Age of what's it called? Age of Cage? That sounds pretty amazing, actually. This to me is such an important part of the page. Getting the highlights in the eyes. Like it totally it's so funny to me how like it totally transforms a page for me. Such a small thing, but it does it for me. Yeah, that Renfield was a weird movie. Don't think that was I don't think that was his best. Yeah, I can't remember what director was talking about Nick Cage, but he was like pointing out that Nick Cage never does like a half-ass job. He takes his shit very serious. Renfield was fun. Oddly, there wasn't a lot of Nick Cage in it. Like as far as like minutes spent on screen. Totally right, Ma. But still, as somebody who wants to see Nick Cage all the time. Yeah, talk about the violence in that movie was very fun, which, like, don't let my mom hear me say that. All right. Well, I'm going to say that I'm done for the night. I think this page is basically done. Lots of times I'll leave it in the morning. I'll come in and I'll touch up a few little things. But yeah, this is it. Did it. We did it, everyone. Good work. Pat yourself on the back. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I hope I hope everyone gets to have a long weekend. If you live someplace where you don't have Memorial Day, then you know what? Just call in sick on Monday. That's the way to do it. All right, everybody. Thanks again for hanging out with me and keeping me company on a Friday night. It's always really fun and appreciated. And yeah, tell the people that you love how much you love them. And I'll see y'all next Friday. Later, skater.